And he also mentioned to us na contractor ako dito eh. Meron din kaming deadline. And then we both asked, baka pwede po namin pakiusapan yung may-ari, yung bagong nakabili ng bahay. And then he also mentioned that si Romualdez ang nakabili. And then after po nun,
It's according to Mr. Diskaya.
that is according
Okay.
to the contractors.
Now, nandito tayo ngayon sa pagdinig, ano? Kung makikita niyong personal, si Carla Diskaya, makikilala niyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pakituro niyo nga kung naandito siya sa loob ng session hall. Lapitan niyo na lang kung sino dyan sa among the resource persons. Hindi, lapitan mo na lang at hawakan mo na lang sa balikat, hindi magagalit yan.
Your Honor,
Excuse
pwede
me,
po bang...
you will be recognized later.
Okay.
No? Tuloy lang natin itong proceeding muna. Sige, miss. Pareho kayo na ina-identify nyo na siya mismo yung kaharap ninyo na sinasabing ang may-ari ng bahay, si Speaker Romualdez, at kailangang umalis na kayo? Kindly answer, use the microphone.
Tama po, Your
Tama po, sir.
So maski ngayon, sa susunod na panahon, sa ibang pagkakataon, ganyan pa rin ang inyong magiging statement.
What is up mga kababayan? This is PH Gen Z. Nagbabalik ang boss ng Gen Z sa mga isyong pampolitika dito sa ating bansa. Ayan mga kababayan, kakatapos lamang po ng Blue Ribbon Committee hearing kanina sa Senado at napanood at narinig po natin ang mga diskusyon sa pagitan ng mga senadors, ng mga state witnesses at maging ng mga personalidad na nakilahok at nakisali dyan po sa hearing sa Senado. Ayan mga kababayan, bago po natin ipagpatuloy ang ating komentaryo at diskusyon regarding nga po dito sa nasabing hearing, huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-iwan ng subscribe sa ating channel para mas maging updated po kayo sa ating mga videos at like kung nagustuhan niyo po ang video ito. Pati na rin ang comment para ma-share niyo po ang inyong mga opinion regarding sa papanoorin nating video. Ayan mga kaibigan, huwag na natin patagalin pa. Pag-usapan na natin itong mga state witnesses na inamin na kasama po o dawit itong si Romualdez regarding nga po dito sa mga flood control issues at anomalya sa DPWH. Ang masasabi lang natin dyan, Romualdez, kung matitimbog ka, up next ka na bangag. Up next na rin yung mga tuta mo dyan na dawit din dito sa DPWH scandal. Yan mga kaibigan, bilang na ang masasaya at maliligayang araw ng mga tuta ni Bangag maging ng pamilya ni Bangag. Ayan, sinasabi natin dahil unti-unti na po lumalabas ang katotohanan. After all, truth will prevail. Ika nga mga kaibigan. Ayan, wag na po nating habaan ang intro mga kaibigan. Rakta na po tayo dito sa videong ito.
Mr. Chair, ang tanong ho natin kasi habang tumatagal po ito, magkakaroon ng idea yung mga tao na baka may tinatakpan ho tayo sa sobrang tagal. And I'm sure you've heard of the words or phrase na justice delayed is justice denied. Sa sobrang tagal po nito, ika nga, baka may mga maabsuelto, magkaaregluhan, dahil sa sobrang bagal ho. Are you satisfied or with this investigation going on sa baba ninyo?
Your Honor, I would like to reiterate po yung nasabi na rin ni Yusek Bernabe kanina na ang DPWH po at this point is supporting yung effort po ng ICI which is mandated na siya pong mag-lead ng investigation, Your Honor.
Yusek Secretary Vida, kayo ho ba satisfied kayo dito sa 421, 14 pa lang po ang sigurado na ghost project. Meron po tayong 30,000 plus na suspected ghost project. Baka tapos na ho yung termino ng administrasyon na ito. Ongoing pa ho investigation. Baka paano ko sa susunod administrasyon, hindi na po pag-uusapan na ito. Di marami pong makakawala, marami pong malilibre, Mr. Chair.
Opo. Mr. Senator, if I may suggest po, sana po ang DPWH at iba pa hong mga katulong ng DPWH sa pagbe-validate, maglabas na rin ng datos kung yung libo-libo hubang project, alin yung talagang hindi na ghost project. Para malimit ho natin yung universe. Tulad po yung nabanggit po kanina ni Secretary Bunoan, malaking input po sa amin yon. Na sa mga initial report sa kanya, lumalabas sa Region 3 lang. Diba? yung mga unang bahagi, para po mapaliit natin, para hindi ho tayo balik na balik sa libo-libo. Kung makakapaglabas na ho ang ating mga kapatid sa kagawaran ng DPWH na, alimbawa po, 10,000, 9,800 dyan, sigurado na kami hindi ghost project. Di lumiit na po yung ating universe. Kasi limitado po ang resources ng government. Limitado rin po ang oras natin sa pag-asa ng ating mga kababayan na magkaroon nga ho ng solusyon. So what ang suggestion po ng inyong lingkod ay para mapaliit po natin. Let's if talaga pong validated na hindi siya ghost project, makapaglabas ho ng datos na hindi na talaga ghost project yun. Para makapag-concentrate po tayo sa case build-up dun sa talagang tinuturing nating ghost projects.
So kayo din, Mr. Chair, ay nababagalan sa pangyayaring ito? Kayo po sa Department of Justice?
Hindi naman po nababagalan. At batid po namin ang iba yung pagkilos po ng mga kapatid natin mula sa DPWH. Baka lang po yung idea na nailulutang sa publiko ay libo-libo pa ring project, pero batid na naman po sa datos na nakita na yung 9,000 mahigit ay hindi talaga ghost project. So aminin na natin sa publiko kung talagang hindi ghost project yun. Mag-concentrate na tayo ho para ho matumbok na ho natin kung sino yung dapat kasuhan, makapag-case build up, makapag-ipon na po tayo ng iba't ibang ebidensya pa ho.
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair, and I agree with the Secretary of Justice, siguro, Department of Public Works and Highways, if you can submit a report kahit sa kanila lang muna na ito, we believe na hindi ito ghost project, ito ay ghost project. Kasi kawawa ho ang dami hong nag-aantay, ang dami hong nakalagay sa media, nag-aantay na sabpina, napadalhan ng mga sabpina, pero wala pa rin pala because of that. Siyempre, kailangan natin siguro bilisan ho natin kasi ang taong bayan po ay nag-aantay din. Tingin tuloy baka hinuhokus-pokus na ng pamahalaan ng administrasyon na ito at maraming i-absuelto, may delay pala tayo sa investigasyon.
Mr. Chair, we will comply po, no? Mr. Chair, for information lang po of the body also, as of date, we have already filed cases against 87 individuals. And habang po kami ay tumutuloy ng investigasyon, kapag po meron kami makita na substandard or ghost, we will continue to file cases po, no? Hanggang po kami ay tuloy-tuloy po itong aming investigasyon po.
Okay, it seems po na hindi reliable ang MIPS coordinates at there are certain inconsistencies. Moving forward po, ano ang reforms ngayon ng DPWH para ma-ensure na isa na lang po ang coordinates ng MIPS at PCMA? Kasi po parang medyo magulo I mean, meron tayong MIPS, merong ika nga para sa PCMA. Ano ho ba talaga? May paliwanag si Yusek Bisnar kasi nababago yung contour, yung ilog. Pero hindi ba pwedeng isa na lamang na coordinates? Kasi magulo ito. Through MIPS, we identify the project. Through PCMA, we monitor the project. So hindi ho ata tama na magkaiba ang coordinates sa MIPS at PCMA. Will you agree with me?
Mr. Chair, sobrang agree po kami dyan, no? Tamang-tama po yung inyong sinabi. Kaya nga po meron po kami mga reforma ngayon to implement itong mga bagong systems, to improve the systems. In fact, meron nga po kaming foreign assisted project to reform this application para nga po isa na lang ang coordinates na gamit po natin. This on top po ng aming nilaunch na transparency portal. Moving forward po, we also intend to have satellite images to monitor po ang aming mga proyekto para nga po to lessen the human intervention.
Kasi Yusek Bernabe, habang may mga gray areas tayo na ganito, yung mga malilikot ang isip, nakakapag-isip ng how to make money because there's a gray area, dala-dalawa po yung ika nga coordinates natin. Pero kung iisa lamang po ito, wala hong kawala, di po ba?
Tama po kayo, Mr. Chair.
Mr. President, just
Go ahead.
this is just a request for submission very quickly. Yusek Bernabe, nabanggit nyo yung nagsampa na kayo ng ilang kaso for ghost and substandard. Baka pwedeng isubmite sa ating komite kasi pinag-uusapan kanina ghost Pero meron ding maliwanag na substandard. Which means therefore na hindi rin compliant at maaring ang dahil kulang sa budget dahil kinurakot, naging substandard, hindi ba? So if he can submit to the committee the list of cases involving substandard projects and involving ghost projects. For the
We will
record.
comply, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Yes, going back to Secretary Yusek Bernabe, naitanong ko kanina ng ating chairman kung ito po bang wrong coordinates na ito was deliberate, sinadya po ba o hindi sinadya? Anong basa ninyo? I mean, sinadya po ba ito para ligawin ang mga investigasyon ng Blue Ribbon Committee, investigasyon ng ICI, ng Ombudsman? Ito po ba'y sinadya sa basa ho ninyo? Bakit nagbigay ho ng mga inconsistent at wrong coordinates? At ngayon, lumalabas na may mga hindi naman pala lahat ghost project. Nagawa din naman pala. Yung pala, ilang metro lamang ang layo sa pinuntahan o chinek. Ano hong comment niyo ho dito?
Again, sorry po, Mr. Chair, no, but I cannot speak on behalf of the former secretary on the intention of submitting the MYPS coordinates vis-a-vis the actual location. Kami lang po ay factual that upon inspecting the projects of the 421 ay meron nga pong variance between the MYPS coordinates and the actual coordinates. Now, the reason or rationale for submitting the MYPS, di po namin kaya sagutin, Mr. Chair.
Hindi ho ninyo, syempre may mga naiwan pa po dyan ng mga district engineer, yung mga mid-level supervisors, hindi ho kayo nagtanong-tanong bakit mali yung naibigay na mga coordinates? Did you ask? Did you try to ask?
Mr. Chair, I believe they submitted both MYPS and the actual coordinates. Ngayon po, I think doon na po sa central office na po ang nagdesisyon kung ano po yung kanilang ipapasa, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. I have one last question, Mr. Chair. Then I will, it's okay, I will just give way to my colleagues. Secretary Bonoan, kayo ho ba, you believe na yung mga binigay ho ninyo na coordinates or yung na mga tao ninyo, sinadya po ito or talagang tanga lang ang posible naman ho, pinag-aralan naman ho natin dyan sa civil engineering course, yung mga coordinates po na yan, may mga barkada po ako na mga civil engineer, pinag-aaralan po, basic po yan sa civil engineering, mga coordinates na yan. Ano nangyari dito, Yusek?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier, ang MIPS coordinate is a locational coordinate. Yung coordinates kung nasaan yung ilog, nasaan yung town, nasaan yung province, that is the locational coordinates. Ang difference, Mr. Chair, is actually when the project is going to be contracted out, there is what we call as-stake coordinates, as-stake plans. Depende na po doon sa condition on field condition. Kasi sila na po magdidetermine where the project will be most useful. Doon na po nila ilalagay yung project na yan. So that is actually the as-stake coordinates, which is actually the limits of the contract that will be implemented, Mr. Chair. May I just want one comment lang, Mr. Chair. When I learned about the report that there were actually about 421 potential ghost projects, it's already a mind-boggling information to me. I have never anything about this kind of ghost projects. Kasi if there would be that many ghost projects, I was wondering why would this not been naipaano na ng COA sa departamento? Hindi na ba because yearly, Mr. Chairman, the COA will have to submit to us actually their observation report. And 421 potential ghost projects, as earlier reported, is really mind-boggling to me. A number of that sort, all over the country.
Kaya ako, Secretary Bonoan, maaring maniwala ho ako kasi kita naman ho natin may sabwatan ho, bilang ilang mga district engineers po ninyo dati at saka mga regional directors and yung mga COA, yung COA na naka-assign po sa inyong tanggapan, nag-uusap-usap po sila. Pero with what you're saying, 420, medyo malaki nga ho yun. Pero sana nga lang po, with the new administration, magawan ho kaagad ng paraan ho ito. Ano po? Kasi makapag-isip po ang tao na wala ho nangyayari. Kaya yan ho ang nireklamo ng mga kababayan natin. Wala po nahuhuli, wala pa nakukulong. Yung pala, may problema tayo. Kung hindi pa po na-raise ng Mr. Chair natin na ang problema sa mga wrong coordinates, kaya kailangan i-double check ho natin. Yun ang mahirap. Next time po siguro, before we make statements or comments sa media, sa social media, kesyo ganito, kesyo ganon, we have to verify muna po. Ano po? Kasi pinapaasa po natin ng taong bayan, justice this, huhulihin sa ganito, kakasuhan na sa ganon, hindi pa makasukasuhan, iniisip tuloy mga kababayan natin, baka nagkakaaregluhan na po, may inaayos na, may pinaplansya na, yung pala dapat to, sinabi nyo kaagad na may problema po tayo, diniri-inform ninyo ang DOJ, ito pong may mga problema tayo sa wrong coordinates para na-inform ng taong bayan. Because yung mama ho, ang Pangulo, nagsalita na may mahuhuli, si Ombudsman Remulla, may mahuhuli, may may aarestuhin ng mga opisyal. Alam nangyari. Yung pala, ang tingin ko ho, yung problema natin dyan sa mga coordinates na yan. Anyway, Mr. Chair, I'll just reserve my other questions sa second round.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Tulfo. Before I recognize the Senate President, quick intervention, follow-up doon sa kanyang tanong. I remember, noong nagpunta kayo sa Oriental, and this was the first time na narinig ko sa inyo mayroong maling grid coordinates. This was long before before the Sumbong sa Pangulo website was launched. Sinabi nyo kagad sa inyong interview, mali yung grid coordinates namin ng aking team na in-inspection namin, na kinunclude namin ghost project sa Sitio Dique, Oriental Mindoro. And we were very sure na hindi yon na hindi mali. Alam namin talagang ghost project because we never relied or we did not rely on the Sumbong sa Pangulo, which at that time was not yet in existence. Hindi pa ito na-launch. Bakit meron na kagad kayong parang subliminally or consciously, alam niyo nang may mga maling grid coordinates? That was the first time, when I first learned na talagang merong mga nasubmit sa Sumbong sa Pangulo na maling grid coordinates, my investigator's mind, kaya unang naisip ko Secretary, bakit kayo nakapagsalita noon na mali yung grid coordinates namin when in fact we did not rely on the Sumbong sa Pangulo grid coordinates. We relied on the DPWH grid coordinates and people on the ground. Kaya we were 100% sure na yung sinabi ko sa aking privilege speech na ghost project sa Sitio Dique was really a ghost project. Alam nyo, Mr. Secretary, i-disclose ko lang, noon ako unang napikon sa inyo. Because you were undermining the work done by my staff. Go ahead, please. Please explain.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but there's probably a misunderstanding a little bit on that, Mr. Chair. I only knew about the differences between the yung grid coordinates when we submitted actually the list of projects sa Office of the President. That is, I never knew actually about the coordinates, even
maliwanag po yung inyong interview Mali yung grid coordinates ni Senator Lacson. Yun ang narinig ko sa interview nyo. Sabi ko, paano niya sabing mali? Chinek namin sa ground mismo, kausap namin yung mga tao, and we inspected physically. So my other question is, between August 4 last year, when you submitted the list
Yes,
of
sir.
the grid coordinates to the Office of the President,
Yes, sir.
and now that we're discussing it,
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan nyo unang na-realize na may mga maling grid coordinates?
After August 4, Your Honor.
When? After August 4 could be today.
Well, I think a few weeks after when I already been able to validate actually yung existence of the ghost projects in Bulacan First Engineering.
Who informed you na mayroong mali?
The Regional Office of Region 3, Your Honor.
Hindi kayo nasabihan ni Undersecretary Bernardo na mali po sir yung ating nasubmit?
Hindi po for that particular area, Your Honor.
No.
We did not discuss.
All over, no? All over.
We did not discuss actually coordinates at that time, Your Honor.
Undersecretary
But,
Bernardo?
we did not discuss the coordinates actually at that time. It's only the presence of
Yeah,
the
okay.
potential.
I want to hear from Undersecretary Bernardo because in one of our private conversations, na-take up niya yan eh. Nasabi na sa inyo na mali po sir yung ating nasubmit. When was that?
Mr. Chair, basta ang naalala ko lang po noon is that when I talked to one of my, especially Region 4B, during that time, because there were issues in Region 4B that I think hindi naman po ghost talaga. So, ang ginawa ko po doon, with the Director, Gerald Pacana, na hindi ko po makausap noon, ay naalala ko po noon, kinausap ko si Engineer Altea at saka si Ruben Santos, na sabi ko, paliwanag nyo na kay Secretary yan dun sa yung sitwasyon natin na baka mali yung mga coordinates. Kasi ang pinag-iisipan po namin is that, although alam po naman ng taga-DPWH to, the late Undersecretary Cabral made the submission to the PMS. I think she directly submitted that to the PMS. Meron po siyang kausap doon. And of course, I think the Secretary during that time cannot read all these documents. Hindi naman po niya ano yun eh. Ang alam ko po noon, nagpapalitan lamang ng nagsasubmit si Jose Cabral sa PMS. So yun po yung alam ko. So that is why, ang sinabi ko po, paliwanag ninyo kay Secretary Bonoan na mali ang coordinates. Baka kailangan maano niya. And I think between those period, may napaliwanag po ni Ruben Santos kay Secretary, nabanggit po sa kanya.
Kailan po ito?
I think after the submission na po nung sambong sa Pangulo, Mr. Chair.
After August 4.
After August 4 po.
So, how many days after August 4 yan?
Siguro po ilang araw lang kasi parang
Ilang
hindi pa
araw?
po ako retired noon eh.
So, were there efforts to inform the President to correct or were there efforts within the department to rectify? Kasi ang tagal ginagamit ng sumbong sa Pangulo yung mga grid coordinates eh. And kami mismo, I kept praising the sumbong sa Pangulo as very helpful to us. Kailan nyo kinol yung attention na Malacanang, Ops, i-recall muna namin kasi mali yung aming nasubmit. Were there efforts in that regard?
Yes, as I recall, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I think when I reported to the President the presence of the ghost projects in Bulacan First Engineering District, after I have validated it personally, 2 weeks after siguro po yun, 2 weeks after August 4, 2 weeks after August 4 po
Yeah.
nung kwan dito, and I told the President that as I learned from our staff noon na po, nung pinag-uusapan na natin yan, that they were telling me that there seems to be some differences between the MIPS coordinates and the ASIS-TAKE coordinates. So I told the President that there are certain differences between the coordinates submitted in this sumbong to Pangulo. Your Honor.
Thank you. The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I was really going to ask the Department of Justice 1 or 2 questions, but before that, a concern was brought to my attention. You mentioned August 4, but August 3, former Secretary Bonoan, Engineer Bonoan, Yusek Alcantara reported to you the existence of ghost projects, which was admitted to him by Bryce Hernandez. You reported this to the President, who eventually, I understand, went to the site. So, did you validate this? How did you validate the report of Yusek Alcantara?
I went to the site.
DE? I'm sorry. District Engineer Alcantara.
Your Honor, I went to the site myself, together with people from the regional office, and they pointed it out to me, the location where they claim it's already a project that was completed. And I took some time actually to validate it, asking people around, the people in that area, if they indeed this project were actually new projects, and they confirmed to me that these were old structures already, Mr. Chair.
So that was when you reported it to the President?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And he went to the site?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Have cases been filed for these three ghost projects?
Well, Your Honor, after I resigned from the office in September 1, I would not put
So you're
this
not
status.
aware? You're not aware. Where is this project, Engineer?
In Bulacan First Engineering District, Your Honor, I think one in Malolos and one in Pandi or something.
There was and also, I don't know if you're aware, but there was a case filed over the Nauhan Mindoro Ghost Project. You're aware of this?
Yes, this is
Yes.
in Oriental Mindoro, Your Honor.
Yes, I think so. And according to the report, the list of the accused is not complete. Are you aware of that, or is the DOJ aware of that? There are certain members of the DBM that should have been included, but they're not included in these cases filed. Can you enlighten us, Secretary Bida?
Okay. In the case of the Nauhan project, Your Honors, this matter was investigated by the Office of the Ombudsman, and similarly, the preliminary investigation was also conducted. The same is not visible to the Department of Justice, Your Honor.
So it should be the Ombudsman that we should pose this question. Is that what you're saying?
The information may be available to the Office of the Ombudsman, Your Honor.
All right. Now for the DOJ, I'm not going to take much of the time, Mr. Chairman. What do we do with the with the personalities that are under our custody? When I heard that you now have under your witness protection program, or accepting pala, Roberto Bernardo, Harry Alcantara, Gerald Opalencia, and Sally Santos. What do we do now, Mr. Secretary?
With your permission, PG Dong Padulyon would.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Insofar as the witness is admitted already into the program, Mr. Chair, the department will probably be asking for, especially for those who are under the custody of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, that we take custody of them so that they can be placed under the protective custody of the witness protection program.
You are contemplating on sending a request to the Senate, is that it?
Yes, we are contemplating on doing that, Mr. Senate President, sir.
But not at the very moment, no?
You may only be referring to Henry Alcantara, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
He's the only one under the custody of the Senate that was updated.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir. Only Engineer Henry Alcantara, sir.
Bernardo, Valencia, and Santos are not, no?
Opalencia, Engineer Opalencia, and Sally Santos are not under the custody of the Senate, Your Honor.
All right.
Sama nyo na pag alis nyo, kung gusto nyo.
If we will be granted by
the
the...
chairman is already agreeing, you know. I don't think anyone else would
Yeah, if
would
the chair of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee so desires, sir, then we will take the necessary or appropriate action to take him into our custody.
Sige, baka mabawasan na namin yung laman doon sa baba dahil
Pakain.
baka may mga ipapasok kaming bago eh.
Meron nga,
Yung,
Mr. President.
especially those who do not respond to the subpoena that the Senate has brought out. So, all right.
Your Honor, if we just thresh out the operational matters with the office of the committee of the Senate, Your Honors. Yes,
Alright.
we will gladly take the protective custody of the
I know for a
state
fact that
witnesses.
the Committee on Agriculture under Senator Pangilinan wants to confine some people.
A few more after, currently, Mr. President, and I
Sige.
think in the next hearing, meron pa ho. Kaya mas
So,
maganda talagang mailipat na yung iba.
So, Mr. Chairman, are we agreeing to the request?
Admit nyo na rin sa program yung iba kung magko-cooperate para mabuwasan pa rin kami rito. Assuming that they fully cooperate, ha? Kasi I've been telling them, informing them na hindi pa naman huli yung lahat. And the committee may even recommend through the Senate President, once they fully cooperate and help in the investigation and eventual conviction of those being implicated, then, and I hope you will agree if the committee will recommend to the WPP, to the DOJ actually.
Mr. Chair, we will seriously consider the recommendation coming from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and the Senate President. As we have made official in the statements of the department, we are not totally disclosing the possibility of these witnesses who applied that they will no longer be considered in future cases. Pwede pa naman po, ang sinasabi lang po ng departamento, base doon sa kanilang application sa ngayon at base doon sa mga kasong gusto nilang makover, hindi po papasok. Pero we're not saying that in the future, if there are cases or there are other statements that may come out where it will turn out that they will be or they can be utilized in the prosecution of these cases, the department will certainly consider it, sir.
So, loud and clear, ha? Bryce, JP, Curly, you heard it from the horse's mouth. May pag-asa pa kayo. So, pagtulog nyo mamaya, isipin nyo mabuti yung gusto nyo i-testify. Hindi po pwedeng half-hearted and half-truth. Kailangan talaga, when you decide to fully cooperate, fully cooperate.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will not use the rest of my time. I will just use it for interjection later on. Sige. Thank you.
Isa pa, before I recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros, hindi to cast in stone, di ba? Kasi pag nag-violate along the way, pwedeng mawala sila sa program.
Totoo po yun. May mga kondisyon na kailangan nilang Ang pinaka-basic na kondisyon, patuloy na makipagtulungan
Correct.
sa Estado para mapatibay natin ang kaso at successful tayong manalo sa mga kasong atin.
And ang covered lang, yung kasong tinetestify nila. Pag may sumulpot na ibang kaso na hindi nila binanggit, na hindi sila kasama, makakasuhan pa rin sila doon sa ibang kaso.
Opo. Yan po ang ating Witness Protection Program, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary Vida.
Mr. Chair, before we move
Yes,
on with your
Senator
indulgence
JB
of
is recognized.
Senator Ontiveros, tungkol lang dito sa pag-admit sa state witness, state witness protection program. No? How do we determine, how do you determine yung gravity ng participation of those who were admitted as state witnesses? Kasi baka mamaya, yung mga na-admit dito, most guilty. Di ba, I think, not a lawyer, pero sa batas, na yung mga most guilty, hindi ho pwedeng maging state witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tama po kayo doon, sir, na sa pag-i-evaluate po na kung sino yung tatanggapin bilang state witness, hindi naman po kasi question niya na unahan. Ang pinag-uusapan ho dito, meron po mga pamantayan na sinusundan tayo. First, that what they have to say is material, it can be corroborated, and that they're not the most guilty. So, kung meron po tayong makikita, no, hindi naman po rin kasi kailangan sa lahat ng kaso na kumuha ng state witness ang Estado. Only in those cases or instances na sa tingin natin kulang o may kakulangan doon sa ebidensya na kailangan mapunuan, diyan po natin tinitingnan kung sino ang pwede nating ikonsidera bilang state witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also, yung I think you have to be meticulous on who should be admitted as state witness kasi baka mamaya maubos na. Kung matanggap pa as state witness yung talagang main participants, sino pang Sino na lang may iwan dito? You have to be meticulous on who to admit as state witnesses?
Yes, Mr.
Ano po,
Chair.
Mr. Chair, thank
yes,
you.
Mr. Chair. We are very careful and we are conscious of the need to scrutinize and carefully examine who the applicants are. We cannot consider everybody who applies because otherwise wala na po tayong ipoprosecute dyan. Pero ang titiyakin po namin is that bago po kami kumuha ng state witness under the Witness Protection Program, ito po ay makakatulong po doon sa kasong isasampa natin. At bilang parang safety net, dito po sa mga natanggap, binanggit na nga po kanina ni Secretary Vida na hindi naman po sa lahat ng pagkakataon covered nito lahat ng kaso. It only refers to the cases which are covered and mentioned in the Memorandum of Agreement.
Thank you. Before I recognize Senator Rizon Tiveros, segue lang tayo ng konti. Anyway, pwede naman balikan tong issue, including the Cabral files later. But para lang ma-dispose na natin yung dalawang bagong witnesses, nakapag-administer na ba ito? Hindi pa. Kindly administer the oath to Maria and Joy. Hindi ito yung mga real names nila, pero kindly administer the oath to the two new witnesses. Kindly stand up.
Kindly raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Thank you. Please sit down. And ipaliwanag nyo lang kung bakit kayo naanditong dalawa. Kayo na yung magkwento. Sige.
Good afternoon po.
We have their real names. Nandiyan naman sa invitation. Thank you.
Okay, so we are working for our boss, Rico Ocampo, who was the previous tenant of 30 Tamarind at Forbes Park.
30 Tamarind South Forbes.
South Forbes,
Yeah.
sir.
Kayo yung mga staff ni Mr. Rico Ocampo.
Kami po, yes po, office staff po ni
Yeah.
Sir.
Na siya yung tenant doon sa bahay na naibenta noong April 2023. Go ahead.
That is
Continue.
correct, Your Honor. And then, during that time, January 29, we were CC'd sa email sa boss namin that we are being evicted January 31 at 3 p.m. Dapat nakalabas na kami ng place. Unfortunately, sa sobrang dami po ng gamit, we weren't able to comply with their deadline. So we have asked TJ Conti, who is the broker from Turnkey Properties. Nakipag-coordinate po kami to have an extension. And we were given until February 3, I think. To, that was already 2024 po.
And eventually you were evicted. And who informed you that you were being evicted?
We were informed by our boss po. It was parang email po ng law firm. And then sinisi po kami ng boss namin for us to be aware that we have to leave the place by January 31, 2024 at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I was able to talk to your boss, si Mr. Rico Ocampo. And he made mention na meron kayong nakaharap nung you were forcibly being pushed out of the residence. Nabanggit niya si Carla Discaya. Would you confirm that?
That was February 1 po.
Yeah.
TJ Conti, he introduced us to the contractor, but he didn't mention the name.
Yeah. But how did you know that that contractor being referred to by TJ Conti is actually Mr. Discaya?
Well, actually, sir, we already mentioned to our boss nung lumabas yung mukha po ni Mr. Discaya. Nasabi ko, kamukha
Saan lumabas ang
sa
mukha?
TV po, when the flood control project is being brought up na.
During the hearings?
Yes, during the hearings.
Okay,
so sabi
so-
ko sa boss ko, sorry
Yeah.
about that. Sabi ko po sa boss ko, tsaka sa colleague ko, tingnan nyo nga, ma'am, tingnan mo pong maigi itong mukha na to. hindi ba ito yung contractor na pinakilala sa atin ni TJ Conti? And then we both agreed na siya nga.
And he was physically there.
He was physically there.
How long did you talk to Mr. Diskaya?
It's less than 5 minutes po, pero kasi natandaan namin siya because he was the one manning the people na sinabihan pa na tulungan kami para mapabilis yung pag-move out namin.
Kindly narrate the conversation that took place between you and Mr. Diskaya at that point in time.
Okay. During February 1 po, it was just a short introduction by TJ Conti. He mentioned that he is the contractor. And then February 2, medyo nagtagal po kasi nakiusap na nga kami na we really cannot matanggal lahat ng mga gamit dahil sa sobrang dami. And he also mentioned to us na contractor ako dito eh. Meron din kaming deadline. And then we both asked, baka pwede po namin pakiusapan yung may-ari, yung bagong nakabili ng bahay. And then he also mentioned that si Romualdez ang nakabili. And then after po nun,
It's according to Mr. Diskaya.
that is according
Okay.
to the contractors.
Now, nandito tayo ngayon sa pagdinig, ano? Kung makikita niyong personal, si Carla Diskaya, makikilala niyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pakituro niyo nga kung naandito siya sa loob ng session hall. Lapitan niyo na lang kung sino dyan sa among the resource persons. Hindi, lapitan mo na lang at hawakan mo na lang sa balikat, hindi magagalit yan.
Your Honor,
Excuse me,
pwede po bang...
you will be recognized later.
Okay.
No? Tuloy lang natin itong proceeding muna. Sige, miss. Pareho kayo na ina-identify nyo na siya mismo yung kaharap ninyo na sinasabing ang may-ari ng bahay, si Speaker Romualdez, at kailangang umalis na kayo? Kindly answer, use the microphone.
Tama po, Your
Tama po, sir.
So maski ngayon, sa susunod na panahon, sa ibang pagkakataon, ganyan pa rin ang inyong magiging statement.
Correct, Your Honor.
O ngayon, Carly, it's your turn.
Your Honor, okay lang po ba tanggalin nila yung face mask nila? Kasi sa totoo lang po, talagang hindi ko sila naaalala kahit sa panaginip ko na naginip
It's
ako
not
ng
for you to
bangungot.
identify them, it's for them to identify you. No?
Your Honor, wala po kasi akong maalalang transaction at saka
That's your
nakapas.
option to deny. What we are establishing here is the fact that there are two witnesses present here under oath na sinasabing nagpunta ka doon at nine-name drop mo, totoo man o hindi, si Speaker Romualdez na siya nagmamay-ari, bagong may-ari noong number 30 Tamarin Street sa South Forbes. Yun lang naman eh. It's not for you to be able to, hindi naman ikaw ang witness against them eh. I don't know if I'm correct. Secretary Bida, kindly help me out, or Dong, PG Dong. Tama ba yon? Wala siyang karapatan na i-identify yung nagturo sa kanya?
Opo. Ang right to confrontation ho kasi, kung yun ho ang iniisip ni Mr. Diskaya, will come at the appropriate time. But for purposes of identification, ang kakailanganin lang po ay yung taong mag-identify dun sa taong kikilalanin.
Thank you, PG Dong. Sige, say your piece.
Your Honor, gusto ko po sana ma-identify po muna yung dalawang nagtuturo sa akin kasi kahit minsan po, hindi pa po ako nakakapasok sa South Forbes Park. Hindi ko pa nga alam kung ano mga uri ng mga bahay meron doon. So, malabong-malabo po talaga at wala po akong inuutusan na kahit sinong broker kasi takot po akong bumili sa mga lugar na yun. Ang kaya ko lang bilhin po ng mga lupa sa lugar lang po ng mga Pasig na hindi ganun kamahal ang presyo ng lupa.
Hindi ko naman sasabing bumili ka eh. Hindi naman yan sinasabi, ikaw ang bumili. Anyway, that's it, ano?
Ang sabi, Mr. Chairman, contractor daw. Ikaw daw ang contractor. Yun ang sabi. Hindi sinabing ikaw ang bibili.
Your Honor, hindi po talaga, hindi pa po kami nakakapasok sa South Forbes Park.
Settled na yan.
Isang beses, opo.
They pointed to you, they identified you, and you are denying. Period.
Mr. Chair, follow-up question.
Yes, Senator Risa.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. Miss, yung mas malayo sa akin, may nabanggit kayong law firm na kasama nung pagpapaalis sa inyo at pagpasok ng bagong may-ari. Aling law firm po iyon, for the record?
Let me just check po my email, Your Honor.
Tapos pakisabi na lang sa aming committee through the chair para lang mabuo namin yung sinasabi
For that
niyong
matter,
kwento.
kung
Thanks,
alam
Mr.
nyo
Chair.
rin, ang sinasabing si Speaker, pero si Speaker ba ang nasa deed of absolute sale? Kung hindi, sino? Kung alam ninyo.
It's Golden Peasant po.
Golden Peasant Holding Corporation, di ba?
That is.
Na ang major stockholder, isa nangangalang Paras.
Hindi ko lang po sigurado.
Yes.
But for the law firm, it's Ocampo Manalo Valdez Lim.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Una, a point of information lang. Nabanggit po kasi kanina na dapat sana fina-flag na ng COA yung mga iniimbestiga ng aming komite na flood control projects, either na ghost or substandard. No, yung sinabi kanina ni Senator Kiko. So, yung point of information dyan ay, in fact, ang COA ay nakapag-flag na ng 4 na proyekto sa Bulacan amounting to a total of 330 million pesos. So baka habang dumadaan ang panahon mas marami pang mafa-flag ang COA. So yung mga unang mga tanong ko po, follow-up questions, Mr. Chair, sa DPWH.